I'm joined by Mr. Peter Lake, who is member of board at ZF Global. Welcome to ETAuto. You have been with TRW, and 2 years ago you came on board with ZF. How do you look at the integration of the two companies and how it is going to help ZF?
Well, we started this journey a year ago when ZF completed the acquisition of TRW. I would say the integration is going very well to plan, in line with what we anticipated at the outset. We defined a three-stage process where, first of all, we would integrate TRW as a division of ZF. Secondly, that we would get involved in project-based collaboration, which you can see some evidence of today behind us in terms of engineering collaboration. And thirdly, we said in the longer term, maybe a 3 to 5 year horizon, we would see structural integration. Now, we've seen some structural integration earlier, and I'm sure that we'll see further structural integration, perhaps earlier than that 5-year time frame.
So could you give us a little more detail of the structural integration that we will see in coming days?
Well, maybe just to say what we have done. Early in the process, we put the purchasing group together. And so now we have a global purchasing organization which is organized by commodity and also with some product line specific purchasing. And that presents a single face to our suppliers. And in terms of the sales organization, we put in place a key account organization structure early on in order to present a single face to our customers. And so it enables us to manage our complexity in-house rather than in front of the supplier and the customer. So that is something we've done in the past. But as we move forward, we are taking further steps, particularly in terms of back office functions, to realize earlier synergies.
So after this joint entity, how do you look at ZF growing globally, and where do you see yourself in terms of revenue?
Well, I see sort of powerful opportunities for us. This always was a technology synergy play rather than two like companies coming together with similar product ranges where you'd be into a cost synergy circumstance. And so we see in the longer term that there will certainly be revenue opportunities arising from the areas of automated driving, efficiency and safety, and our ability to provide new and innovative solutions to our customers in each three of those areas.
If you have to mark 3 top advantages that you are going to get out of this integration, or do you look at some disadvantage as well, because you operated in similar product line in many markets, so how are you going to manage all those?
I think there are many more upsides than downsides, and I struggle as I sit here now to think what the downsides might be. I see all the opportunities as on the upside, and we have a phrase that we use in the business: see, think and act. See is about the sensors and understanding the environment around the vehicle. Think is the fusion of those sensor inputs and deciding what the vehicle should do in terms of some lateral or longitudinal action. And then thirdly, act is the muscles, the smart actuators that actually cause the vehicle to do what the brain is telling them to do. And so in each of those areas, I think that we have a unique opportunity to be able to bring new products to the market and to be able to grow the business globally in each of those three areas.
During your presentation, you talked about 3 mega trends. How ZF jointly looks at, commanding what kind of market in the mega trends in the coming future?
Well, there are many contributors to each of those mega trends, and ZF has an unparalleled portfolio to be able to exploit the market in respect of each of those. And so in the efficiency area, clearly we have market-leading products with our 8 HP, our 9 HP transmissions for today's vehicles. Looking ahead further, there's hybrid application and in the longer term, the full development of the fully electric vehicles. You've seen examples today of fully electric buses, for example. And so that is an area of particular strength for this company, as is light weighting, low drag calipers, and all of the other products products that we have in our portfolio that contribute to efficiency and lower CO2 emissions. If you look in the area of safety and comfort, then there are great opportunities to integrate front and rear steering or those systems together with CDC or active damping type technologies, for example. And then the whole area of driver assist technologies, again with the sensors and the fusion and the electronics capabilities there, are where we're putting businesses or putting our efforts together and being able to see that 1 and 1 makes more than 2, if you see what I mean. That we talk about the power of 2, or the power of 2 raised to the power 2, an exponent, and we really have that promise as a company to be able to deliver that.
So what is going to be your immediate focus for ZF? Which part, it's electronics or the mechanical part that you are going to focus? Which is going to be your...
All of the above. I mean, we're involved in multiple market segments, we're involved in multiple products, but you'll see that our agenda is very much driven by responding and being proactive in the areas of those 3 mega trends. So everything we do is associated with our strategy 2025. That's our compass, that's the direction we're moving in, and we'll ensure that we're investing our efforts and focusing our attention on those products and on those market actions that contribute towards achieving our objectives in respect of efficiency, automated driving, and integrated safety.
How are you going to leverage your partnership with WAPCO? Are you going, WAPCO is there in India, you are also there. How are you going to extend this relationship?
Well, at this point in time, what you've seen us do here today, which is a world first with this maneuver assist, is really nothing more than a collaboration where 2 industry partners, leaders in technology that they each have come together in order to demonstrate with an early prototype what can be done. Don't read anything more into it than that. That is what it is.
So it is going to be limited to that? Is that what you're saying?
Never say never, and never say anything in that respect. I wouldn't rule anything in or rule anything out. What I'm saying is, it is what it is, and so it's not worth speculating.
So, India, how do you look at India in your global market? Because we see there are a lot of change happening in India. The government is bringing in new policy where in terms of safety and emission norm. How are you going to take advantage of the growing opportunity in India, and what kind of growth you look at?
Well, first of all, I'd say that each of the previous companies, so ZF before its acquisition of TRW, and also TRW before it was acquired by ZF, had a significant presence in India, a long-standing presence, I should say. So on the TRW side, with which I'm more familiar, clearly we have very robust, excellent relationships in the form of Brakes India or in the form of the Rane Group activities that we have, and so that goes back a long way. We also have on the ZF side a long-standing presence in the market, and so first of all we have some established presence there. Okay, we can definitely build upon that. So we get a lot of engineering done in India already. There are opportunities perhaps to do more in that respect, but certainly as the government raises the bar in terms of the performance that's expected of its products, then it plays more and more to our strengths. And so if, as new emission standards are introduced, we have a product range which is very well positioned to be able to respond to that. As and when the occupant safety regulations are raised further than they already have been, because the government's already taken some steps a couple of years ago, then we will see that develop. In the area of active safety, as ABS or electronic stability control is developed further, then we stand ready there. And so I think in all of the areas we stand ready to serve the market as those regulations are developed further, and as the local industry both responds to the requirements of its export markets and those increasing demands of its domestic market.
So what kind of growth you look at in terms of revenue with the new regulation coming up, with ABS being mandatory, then BS6 being Euro 6 that you call in Europe is being implemented?
Yeah. We don't go into individual territorial or regional growth predictions in that respect. All I would say is, we're ready to respond to that market, and as that market develops in terms of vehicle build and also content per vehicle, then we're very well positioned, I think, to be a leader in that area.
So, is India one of the top 5, top 10 market for ZF globally? Or how do you look at in future?
Let me see. You know what? I don't have the revenue numbers in mind, and also some of those revenue numbers, are actually within joint ventures where we don't consolidate those revenues, and so I don't think that is the real measure of performance that we should talk about. If you look at our published numbers, then you can see Europe is our largest market, the United States is right up there, and then you have Asia as a general number, where within Asia clearly China is the largest element. But I like to look more about the future. We certainly see that the vehicle industry will develop in India. It will develop as much as the infrastructure allows it to develop, quite clearly, and as regulations raise the bar, then we see content per vehicle growth opportunities as well.
One last question. ZF mostly has joint ventures in India. Do you look at going your own way or acquiring company also in India?
I don't know. I think what we need to do is to see what best meets the market requirement. And again, I wouldn't rule anything out or rule anything in. Whatever is the right way in order to serve that market in the most effective manner that meets our objectives and meets our customers' expectations is the route we take.
Do you think India's situation has improved for investment?
I don't know. Certainly we see more and more talk in the marketplace about being, more pro-business and so forth. And so certainly that seems to be the trajectory that the government and the country is on.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much indeed.